The Untold Stories of Lydia Litvyak and Marina Raskova, Soviet Heroes of World War II. This narrative is proudly brought to you by Polly Speaks For You. At Polly Speaks For You, we are committed to empowering individuals, especially those with disabilities or learning challenges, through innovative text-to-speech and voice recognition technology. Polly Speaks For You is more than just software. It's a tool for self-expression, connecting people with the world in meaningful ways. By blending the richness of history with cutting-edge technology, Polly Speaks For You demonstrates that every voice, whether preserving the past or shaping the future, has the potential to inspire. While we strive to make the story engaging, our primary focus is on storytelling itself. The visuals are secondary. We're showcasing the remarkable capabilities of text-to-speech software that bring these stories to life. Lydia Litvyak, the White Rose of Stalingrad. Lydia Litvyak was born in Moscow in 1921 and developed an interest in aviation from a young age. By the age of 14, she had already enrolled in a flying club, and by 15, she was flying solo. When Nazi Germany invaded the Soviet Union in 1941, Litvyak volunteered to serve as a combat pilot in the Soviet Air Force. She was determined to prove herself in a field that was traditionally dominated by men. In September 1942, at just 21 years old, Litvyak became part of the 586th Fighter Regiment, which was an all-female unit. Her talent and bravery were quickly noticed, and she was transferred to a male-dominated unit, the 437th Fighter Regiment, then later to the elite 9th Guards Fighter Regiment. It was here that she earned her reputation as a fearless and highly skilled pilot. The Battle of Stalingrad. Litvyak saw action during some of the most brutal air battles of the war, including the Battle of Stalingrad. On August 13, 1942, she achieved her first aerial victory, shooting down a Junkers Ju-88 bomber. The very next day, she shot down two German Messerschmitt Bf 109 fighters, solidifying her status as one of the top fighter pilots. What set Litvyak apart was her fearlessness and precision in dogfights. She had a sharp eye for her targets and a unique ability to outmaneuver enemy aircraft. Her distinctive white lily painted on the side of her yak, one fighter plane, earned her the nickname, White Rose of Stalingrad. By early 1943, Litvyak had become the first woman in aviation history to shoot down an enemy aircraft, and she continued to add to her tally of kills, becoming one of the most successful female fighter aces. Despite her accomplishments, Litvyak faced immense physical and emotional tolls. She lost many close comrades in battle, and her personal life was marked by tragedy as well. One of her great loves, pilot Alexei Solomidin, was killed in combat in May 1943. Litvyak was heartbroken but continued to fight, channeling her grief into her missions. Her final mission. On August 1, 1943, during the Battle of Kursk, Litvyak took part in an aerial sortie against German forces near Orel. After shooting down two enemy aircraft, her fighter was hit. Witnesses saw her plane spiral out of control and crash into the ground. At just 21 years old, Lydia Litvyak was presumed dead. Her body was never recovered, and for years, her fate remained a mystery. In 1990, after decades of uncertainty, Lydia Litvyak was posthumously awarded the title Hero of the Soviet Union, the highest honor in the USSR. She remains one of the most celebrated female fighter pilots in history, credited with 12 solo kills and 4 shared victories. Her legacy is that of a brave, determined young woman who defied expectations and made an indelible mark on history. Marina Raskova, the founder of the Night Witches. Marina Raskova, born in 1912, was already a famous aviator and navigator before World War II. Known as the Russian Amelia Earhart, she was one of the first women in the Soviet Union to become a navigator in the Soviet Air Force. She set several long-distance flight records in the 1930s, earning her a place in the Soviet Aviation Hall of Fame. When war broke out in 1941, Raskova was determined to involve women in the Soviet war effort. At the time, the Soviet Union was facing immense pressure from Nazi Germany's advancing forces, and there was a dire need for pilots. Raskova petitioned Joseph Stalin to allow the formation of all-female air regiments, and in October 1941, he approved her request. The formation of the Night Witches. One of the most famous regiments that Raskova helped form was the 588th Night Bomber Regiment, which later became known as the Night Witches. These women flew small, outdated Polikarpov P-2 biplanes, which were originally designed for crop dusting and training. However, the planes had one advantage. They were so slow that they could outmaneuver the faster German aircraft in dogfights. The Night Witches used their slow speed to their advantage by flying low to the ground and cutting their engines before dropping bombs on German positions, creating a whooshing sound that terrified the enemy. The Germans called them Nachtwechseln, Night Witches, because of the eerie silence before the attack. The Night Witches flew dangerous missions at night, often without parachutes, relying on their courage and skill to survive. The conditions were grueling, flying in open cockpits in freezing temperatures, facing anti-aircraft fire, and risking capture if shot down behind enemy lines. But under Raskova's leadership, the Night Witches became one of the most successful air units of the war, flying more than 30,000 sorties and dropping over 23,000 tons of bombs. Raskova's legacy. In addition to the Night Witches, Raskova also helped form the 586th Fighter Regiment and the 587th Bomber Regiment, which consisted entirely of women. She personally trained many of these women and served as an inspirational leader. Sadly, Marina Raskova's life was cut short in January 1943 when her plane crashed in poor weather conditions while ferrying supplies to the front. Her death was a great loss to the Soviet war effort, but her legacy lived on through the women she trained and the units she helped create. Raskova was posthumously awarded the title Hero of the Soviet Union, and her work in forming the all-female air regiments left an enduring legacy. The women of the Night Witches, in particular, became symbols of female courage and perseverance, and their exploits remain an important part of World War II history. The impact of Litvyak and Raskova. Lydia Litvyak and Marina Raskova represent two different, but equally important aspects of women's contributions to World War II aviation. Litvyak was a fearless fighter ace, engaging in direct combat and becoming one of the most successful female pilots of all time. Raskova, on the other hand, was a visionary leader and organizer, helping to create the all-female air regiments that became famous for their bravery and effectiveness. Both women defied gender expectations and overcame immense challenges to prove that women could contribute just as much to the war effort as men. Their stories continue to inspire new generations of aviators and women in the military, showing that bravery, skill, and determination know no gender boundaries. If you're enjoying this story, please remember to hit like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us continue creating content that educates and empowers. To learn more about South Africa's leading accessibility software and to support our dyslexic-friendly initiative, visit www.polispeaks4u. See you, ZA. Drop a comment if you want more information. Thank you for watching this video.